Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Felix Plays. Welcome back to my Minecraft hardcore world. There's been a bit of playing off in between the episodes. What is there to tell you that you missed out on? I've built a big hole in my base, as you're seeing now. I've nearly finished the mine, as you'll see when I get down there, but it's very scary because there's a spider spawner and all sorts of stuff going on down there, which I don't like. You know, like those cave spiders that spawn in the mine shaft, they're brutal. They're going to kill me really quick and I can't be dealing with it. So I'm just expanding my hole, you know, keeping on digging, because I have a vision. I see this place being a long-term stronghold and a place to call home, which we all need, you know. It's what we all need. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. We need a place to call home. So the title of today's video is Slow Progress is Still Progress. This is a principle I try to live my life by. It's sort of similar in the vein to sort of compound interest and this sort of stuff, right? Whereby if you're just ticking on over, improving a little bit every day, by the time you've looked back at yourself over a period of days, weeks, months, you're going to improve yourself dramatically. And I don't say this in the kind of like self-optimization way that I disagree with from a lot of like mainstream entertainers. I mean this in just like a very casual life approach, and it's actually ticking over into my Minecraft world. So I'm not trying to get too philosophical too quickly here, but you know, in this episode, don't expect to see me taking on the Ender Dragon or going to the Nether or anything like that. You know, this is just me getting a fishing rod, getting some stuff, gathering resources, improving the base, staying alive. You know, it's just the key thing to a hardcore world. So that's today's main plan. But slow progress is still progress, you know, and why it's important to keep going. You can find yourself in a rut, okay, as we all can, fairly quickly in life. Minecraft being the perfect analogy here. You know, you start in on day one with nothing. You just have absolutely nothing going for you. And it's easy to sort of, you know, get cluttered and lost and bored and waking up and realizing, hang on, I don't want to do this, blah, 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 blah. But it's just important to keep going, because sooner or later that cause will come back. You know, if you just put the time in, you'll find that something always clicks, because it always does. I'm a big believer in that, you know. I look up to so many great Minecrafters and also chess players that I have followed for a long time, and the way that they carry themselves and entertain whilst also I just think it's inspirational, and that's what I'm aiming for this channel. That's what I'm aiming for this series in particular. Coming across my stepping stones, love them. Yeah, it's just something that I think is something that I would like to bear in mind throughout the course of this channel and this series. Is that if you're just chipping away, you know, with your uploads, with your editing, with your commentary, with your actual gameplay, you know, you're gonna be improving and garnering a set of skills that are really, really important and beneficial to have going forward. I think about all the editing software and streaming platforms and all this sort of stuff that I've had to develop. It's like, you know, OBS and the settings in there, Final Cut Pro and the settings in here where I'm recording my voice right now. I wouldn't have had a clue about any of this stuff had I not decided to start on this little adventure. And it is an adventure, you know. All the engagement so far has been so exciting to me, mainly because it's just, you know, I live in a very small town. It can be quite lonely. I don't have a job. I have this going for me in a weird way. and it's just been a lot of fun to get the odd comment here and there, the odd like. Also the subscribers coming in is just so exciting to see. So yeah, this is me just running around my base. I'm just trying to get more stairs, more torches, and it's incremental. You know, it's an iterative process where I'm just thinking about how to improve. I think I'm just building a pickaxe here now. I have subsequently learnt how to do that. I remember in the first episode I forgot to smelt the iron. And now see, back down the mine, you know, because we're on the road to diamonds here. It's going to happen, I think, in this episode. I'm not trying to spoil anything, but I think we do possibly get diamonds here. I can't really remember. But yeah, we could talk a little bit about why I enjoy hardcore. I feel a sense of pressure almost, and a sense of like, what's the word I'm looking for? There is it's like oh my goodness, I've forgotten the word. That's hopeless. But there's like a severity to it, right? So even me going down into this cave now, I'm just terrified. And I was recording this quite early in the morning, which is why I didn't have any live commentary going on. But you could let me know what you think about this format. If you enjoy me commentating over the gameplay post-script without any sort of live commentary. And hang on. Here we go. He's seen them. Couple of diamonds for the boy. Couple of diamondes to keep me going. Always a good start to a world, that. It's an exciting moment in any hardcore series. And there we go, get the advancement, we're off. And I get a bit excited there. And then I get carried away, get exploring this cave. I find the cause of all the hissing, the dreaded spider spawner, and I can see one coming towards me, so I'm like, get out of there, ASAP. But yeah, back to this slow progress is still progress theme. I'm thinking, and maybe this will be more apparent by the next episode, that even just by improving the base, I'm having such a better time than I've ever had whilst playing the game before. I think that by trying to rush into like the post game with an elytra and shulkers and all the resources you can ever garner, it's actually fairly easy to lose sight of the authenticity in the game. I don't know, maybe this is just me, but I'm really enjoying just taking it very, very slowly. I know some people track their hardcore worlds in days. I don't actually know how to do that. I know it's in the F3 function, but when I press it, it doesn't appear. I'll have to look into that for some reason. I suspect I'm maybe on like day 10 to 20 by now. I'm completely lost at this moment, which is why I can't get out. I know I have to find the stairs, which are dead ahead, which is kind of frustrating to watch this back now. But I think I'm going to find it now. Yeah, get up those stairs, boy. There we go. There we go. And yeah, maybe I could talk to you about why this series is a little bit different from the other hardcore Minecraft series you'll see. The gameplay is supposed to be extremely relaxed. This is mainly for my benefit more than anybody else's, but I hope it agrees with you. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope that you can appreciate that me as a sort of seasoned unk of the game, I'm not going to be coming out here and speedrunning and all this sort of stuff, because I just don't have it in me anymore. Or not that I ever did. There's not going to be any sort of over-the-top shouting and screaming at creepers and stuff. Well, there might be. Who knows? I should hope not. But it's just going to be a very relaxing, slow-paced, taking one step at a time run-through of the game. With some long-term goals, mainly to improve the base, explore. But, you know, maybe we'll get to the end of Dragon at some point. But I just think we'll take it one step at a time until we get there. Okay. What else can I tell you about? I would like to take on this spider, first of all. Just to, you know, bolster my strength and improve at that sort of thing. Because the combat has been lacking in this series so far. But fishing, here we go. Fishing is a huge part of the game for me. I absolutely love it. I am going to fast forward here because I do fish a lot. You know, it's just such a good source of XP, food. You can get things like saddles, and I think I even get a bow, which is like power 4 and flame. So that's pretty nice. Yeah, I would like to talk to you also about how you guys are finding the channel so far. If you've stuck around for this part of the episode, I really appreciate that. So maybe leave a comment. Let me know where you're from. Maybe your favourite Minecraft update, what you'd like me to build next. If you've got any tips for me, having seen where I'm going with this. Who knows? Do you have a favourite biome, a favourite block, perhaps? You know, that sort of thing. Just let me know. Yeah. And I'm just going to head back to the base now. I'm back to regular pacing. This is me getting a bit of wood. Yeah, I mean, I'm having the time of my life so far with this series. Like, I'm getting off and immediately just wanted to continue. There's a bit of a bottleneck with the editing and commentary so far because it's so much easier to just log on, and by the time you realise that you've recorded a gameplay that's like an hour and a half long, and you've got to talk over it. But I mean, that's fine. I'm improving as I go, I think, and maybe I'll investigate finding an editor or something like that. I'm not super sure because my Final Cut skills or Premiere skills are not there. Maybe I'm just copping out, but I don't think that I'm going to be able to come up with some top-notch content down the line. But, you know, like I said, this is just a process of taking it easy and realising that, you know, in 6 months' time, with all of this stuff going on, as I said, slow progress is good progress. I don't need to focus on these things. But this is the trap, right? This is the trap I'm trying to talk to you about. It's so easy to compare yourself to who somebody else is today rather than to who you were yesterday. I forget who said that, but I love that line. You know, it's like, don't compare yourself to someone who's 10 years in when you're just starting out. There's no reason for it, and it won't help. There's so much I've picked up in such a short span of time that I'm confident in my ability to pull this thing off as something that I love, and I'm having a great time with it already. So it's been a great hobby to have. I mean, I'll tell you the one funny thing that I've experienced so far though is as I touched on earlier, I'm currently out of work, and I was asked the other day, what do I do for a living? And I said, well, I run a YouTube channel. And I think at this point I had like maybe 9 or 10 subscribers. And I just was able to think to myself, you know, that with confidence, this is what I'm doing. And they were so supportive. This was at a friend's barbecue, and they were so encouraging of it, and they had great advice for me and all this sort of stuff, that I thought to myself, wow, you know, I really could just think this is... what's going on here? What am I doing with these furnaces and smokers? Maybe it's time to go to bed now, he's thinking. Yes. But I think it's just a case of thinking to myself that, like, this is... hang on, I'm going to add a bit more gameplay because I've got this thought to finish, but I'm slowly running out of gameplay for episode 2. But that's okay, I'll add a bit more. And then I'll just wrap this up by saying... yeah, I told this guy that I was a YouTuber. And I just think by having that mindset, you're kind of cementing it into your ethos and the way that you think about the world. And I just think that I can do this, and I'm going to do this. So yeah, that's me wrapping up, and I will see you guys in the very next episode. But remember what I said, you know, slow progress is still progress. Thanks everyone. See you in the next episode. Bye bye.